The country's most popular mayor, Cory Booker of Newark, New Jersey, is a self-described surrogate for Barack Obama. But he lit up the left and the right on Sunday with his comments about the Obama campaign's attack on Mitt Romney's work with Bain Capital. I'm PJTV's Scott Ott, joined now by Bill Whittle and Stephen Green. Well, men, here's what the Democrat mayor told NBC's David Gregory on Meet the Press.
This kind of stuff is nauseating to me on both sides. It's nauseating to the American public. Enough is enough. Stop attacking private equity. Stop attacking Jeremiah Wright. This stuff has got to stop, because what it does is it undermines, to me, what this country should be focused on. It's a distraction from the real issues.
Earlier, Booker says that slamming private equity firms is ridiculous. He says Bain Capital has done a lot to support and grow businesses. And he points out that pension funds, including union retirement plans, are invested in companies like Bain. So attacking them makes him very uncomfortable. Bill, isn't this a lovely little bouquet of truth with the aroma of authenticity? I mean, what do you think David Axelrod said when he called to thank Mayor Booker for his honesty?
He called him and said, "Get back on the plantation where you belong. You will toe the line with the ideological forces that have utterly put black people onto an ideological plantation for the last 40 years. That's what he told him. Let me say one thing about Mr. Booker. Mr. Booker's the kind of guy that I'm proud to consider a countryman, because he's the kind of guy who obviously understands America, loves America, has a different opinion on how to run America than I do. This is the kind of man who is a pleasure to disagree with. He's not an ideologue, an anti-capitalist like Barack Obama is. And when I look at Mr. Booker, I think to myself, you know, it's kind of a crime, really. It's almost sad that he wasn't on the scene 8 years earlier, 4 years earlier, because that's the kind of man that should have been America's first black president. A guy who's actually from here, who grew up in America, understood what America's about, understood that you need private enterprise to... Private enterprise, I can't even believe we're having this discussion about private enterprise. Like, private enterprise is some kind of new sliver, some kind of a thorn that's recently injected itself into the American political system. We need to get it out of here before it does some damage. I mean, the fact that we're having this conversation about people like Bain in the first place is a sign of how bad things have gotten. But Cory Booker is the kind of guy that the Democrats should be rallying around, because he's a pragmatist. He wants things to work. And the one tremendous disappointment about Barack Obama, for those people who weren't paying attention in 2008, is how much of an anti-business, anti-growth ideologue he really is. And only Cory Booker could really point that out as clearly. So needless to say, it hurt them very badly, I think.
By the way, to highlight that, when President Obama was asked whether this is a distraction, he said, "This isn't a distraction. This is what this campaign is all about, is this attack on Bain Capital." Stephen Green, do you think Americans resonate with Booker when he says he's sick of the attacks on Romney's old company and of using Reverend Jeremiah Wright to impugn Obama? Are we really sick of it?
Yeah, I really think we are. You look at the level of support that politics in general has today. But when I watched that clip Sunday morning, and I did, because it's part of my job to watch all the Sunday shows, I didn't actually think much of what Booker had said, because other Democrats, a few others, had already said much the same thing. And you know what? You could always depend on Booker to speak his mind and to give you the honest truth as he sees it. He's one of the good guys. And I think it's practical, pragmatic, I think is the word Bill used, mayors and governors like him that are going to save the Democrats from Obama and Pelosi and Reid. Looking forward, my buddy Doug Mataconis has heard rumbles that Booker is aiming for a Senate run in 2014. New Jersey could do a lot worse. The Senate has done a lot worse, and I'm talking Democrat and Republican here.
New Jersey has done a lot worse. While folks on the right rejoice to hear the truth being spoken by a Democrat, it wasn't long before Booker took to YouTube in an effort to, how shall we say, add subtlety and depth to his remarks.
Let me be clear. Mitt Romney has made his business record a centerpiece of his campaign. He's talked about himself as a job creator, and therefore it is reasonable, and in fact I encourage it, for the Obama campaign to examine that record and to discuss it. I have no problem with that.
Well, Booker's change of heart came as the Obama campaign releases this new ad.
First thing they did was knock the pay down.
We got people in here that went back wages that they made 14 years ago.
Took our benefits. We didn't have any more retirement. In Bain, Mitt Romney, they did not care about us as workers.
Now, Bill, I've told Republican friends that Cory Booker is the Democrats' last best hope, not because of his ideology, but because he seems honest and genuinely eager to serve people. Do I now need to throw him in the bin with the other say-anything politicians?
Well, that little clip you just played of Cory Booker is the first time I've ever heard that man speak where he didn't say anything. It's the first time. You could tell he's under pressure to make that statement. Well, Mitt Romney is running on his financial background, and I think that's appropriate that he be running on his financial background. Okay. He's under tremendous pressure because he basically, what Cory Booker did was very simple. What Cory Booker did was he pulled aside the curtain of the Obama campaign strategy and said there's nothing back there. There's nothing back there. You cannot attack capitalism in America and win. We need this money in order to fix our cities. In Detroit, boy, you want to talk about Newark. If Detroit ever needed anything, it's an injection of capital. Here's the thing, Scotty. Barack Obama's policies from 2009 have been progressively polling worse and worse and worse, but his personal popularity always remained kind of high. And what Barack Obama has done in the last 2 or 3 months is he has blown his foot off. He is doing everything in his power to come across as mean-spirited, petty, and low, and he is destroying the only advantage he has left. So please, please continue to attack prosperity. Please continue to attack capital. Please continue to attack capitalism. And please continue to sell us your vision of an America where everybody is on benefits for the rest of their lives and the perfect economy is one where everybody is on unemployment.
Well, Steve, after what he did Sunday morning, why, oh, why did Cory Booker have to make that YouTube video?
Well, number one, he stole something from the president. If you go back to the 2008 election, everything Barack Obama wanted to talk about was a real issue. And anything anybody else wanted to talk about, he said was a distraction. Well, Booker came along and said that the president's campaign was a distraction. He stole that word right out from under him. That, I think, is why it stung so much and why he had to be, pulled back into line. But I want you to notice something else, and Bill hinted at this, but he didn't go far enough. The video is awful. This is not the Cory Booker that we've all come to know and respect. So I have a theory. You remember when the North Vietnamese would put our POWs on TV, showing them, giving confessions to all their supposed war crimes, but the whole times the POWs would be secretly, slipping them the finger on the tabletop or blinking SOS. Well, this video was awful. I think it was awful on purpose. That's Booker's way of telling us that this wasn't his idea, and he's not happy about it either.
I like that theory. I still think Cory Booker is the Democrats' last best hope, and I hope that he recants his recantation. What Booker did Sunday morning, speaking honestly regardless of party affiliation, is actually the last best hope for our entire political system. Vibrant civil debate and principled dissent strengthen a party and a nation. But when a man must check his swing, pull his punches, bite his tongue, and merely mouth the party line, he trades his liberty for captivity in hopes of winning favor from petty princes destined for oblivion. For Bill, Steve, and the entire Trifecta crew at PJTV.com, I'm Scott Ott.